It's frustrating whenever I like forget about a band and then like I come back to them after a long time and then but have like completely forgotten about them and then I feel like I'm totally late to the party. It's the worst feeling ever. Welcome all fellow wannabes, welcome to the channel. I am Gabriel Fast, I do manage Wannabe Critic Productions. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're reviewing some music for reckless.co.uk, aka Reckless Music. It is kind of one of those things where they did send me this one early. I did get to listen to it a little bit ahead of time, so a big thank you to NECKDEEP and PR for NECKDEEP for providing this early to Reckless for review. We seriously appreciate it. I'm sorry if my review is a little late to the party. Things come up, life happens. I don't do this professionally. I'd like to. So if you want to help make that happen, definitely consider subscribing and hitting the bell so that I can, potentially become relevant someday. Today we are reviewing NECKDEEP's latest album, All Distortions Are Intentional. Now, Apple Music has NECKDEEP listed as rock music, but if you're any fan of NECKDEEP's, you know better. Rock music is such a broad genre. For Reckless, I usually cover a lot of just alternative rock music, which, those soundscapes can be quite varied, as you've seen in my previous reviews. Some things a little more moody, some things a little more fun. I definitely think that NECKDEEP falls more into the fun category in a lot of ways, but if you really want to, deep dive into the lyrics, there's actually some pretty dark stuff in there. Which is kind of interesting because you wouldn't gather from the music, that it would be that way. Ultimately, NECKDEEP has really outdone themselves on this record. I have done my homework in the past. I have listened to this band in the past. I have really tried to compare to, their previous albums. And I've found that I think this one probably is my favorite out of all of the records that they put out. Which, it's no surprise as time goes on, bands get tighter, things happen. I don't know the entire history of this band. I'm not a NECKDEEP super fan. And it's interesting, I don't usually listen to a lot of this, particular style of alternative music. I gotta say, I had a really fun time with this one. I think it was catchy when it needed to be. It was kind of somber when it needed to be. It was pretty well-rounded. Even though there's a consistent theme of, a definite style that the band has, definitely put a stamp on this record, there's still diversity. Sometimes you have real ballad-esque songs, but the lead vocalist, I need to look up his name, Ben Barlow. I knew it was Ben something. Sorry, Ben, if you're watching this. Ben Barlow kills it throughout the entire record. Definitely reminiscent of things like Chiodos or Circa Survive. I mean, dare I say even things like Sleeping with Sirens. Definitely in the higher registers and, a belter of sorts throughout the entire record. Every single track delivers those very high-pitched melodies. My voice cracked a little bit there for a minute. Overall, it's a really solid album. I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, why can't reviews ever just entail, I think this is good, done, a minute long, I think it's great, they did a good job. No, you have to elaborate, you have to give your thoughts on it. It's frustrating whenever I don't know a ton about the band and I haven't had a history with the band or even really, listened to them a ton. But I have to say that this is a really good entry point for anyone who's looking to get into alternative music or even, into NECKDEEP's discography as well. It's a super solid album. It delivers a lot of punchy rhythms and, heavy-hitting melodies. You're going to be bobbing your head in your car while you're listening to it. It's going to be great. The songs are going to get stuck in your head, and you're absolutely going to love it. And you're going to say, gee, Gabe, thanks. I'm glad I watched your review on this, and I'm glad I listened to this record at least 3 times, because we know you can't really have an opinion on something until you really listen to it a few times. Now, this isn't a hard, fast, strict rule. Sometimes I listen to things once or twice, and I really, not because I don't want to listen to it more, but sometimes once or twice, it is what it is. Or I think I just inherently know that I'm going to like something. Here's what I think. I think if you don't like something, you need to ask yourself why, because you're still trying to process that. I think it would be very easy for someone to listen to this record and say, oh, I'm not sure about, the pitch of this guy's voice, or I'm not sure about this song, or I'm not sure about, these few songs, or whatever it may be. I think you might need to listen to it a couple more times if you're finding yourself having negative feelings about it. You may find that you might like it after another listen or two. You know how I know? Because that's kind of how I felt with this record. I listened to it once, I didn't know how I felt about it. Listened to it another time, I liked it more, and then just once to kind of solidify how I thought. Sure enough, by the third time I ran it through, I really, really liked it, and I think it's a good album. I think you should check it out. Obviously, like I said, there's no rule. It's just my wannabe's honest opinion. As far as the score goes, I'm going to give this bad boy an 8 out of 10. I think it's really good. I don't think it's, it's hard to give something a 10 out of 10 or even a 9 out of 10 nowadays because, how do I say this? You can tell the talent is there. You can tell the tightness in the band is there. You can tell that they definitely have a definitive vibe with each other. And I feel like I think it's really solid. I think it does a good job. I just don't think it's just too incredibly innovative. And I don't think it's playing it safe either. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's really just, groundbreaking in any way. I think it does a really good job of trying to do what it's trying to do, which is to get you to, enjoy the music. So what did you think of NECKDEEP's new album? Definitely let me know in the comments below. I hope this review was concise enough for you. I hope it made sense. I hope I expressed myself well. That's something I'm always trying to do, is express myself to a better degree. So I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for stopping by. I want to ask that you, once again, consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. Check out my other reviews. Definitely head over to reckless.co.uk to check out their stuff. And thank you for preparing yourselves for a plethora of hot takes and potentially unpopular opinions. I'm Gabriel Fast. I will always be a wannabe critic.